So every now and then something happens online which impresses me. And yes, I am naked apart from this, but you know, whatever. So I thought I would tell you what it is that's impressed me. So roll the titles. So online, and very, very occasionally, kind of in person, there is this movement called Anonymous. Now, I don't agree with Anonymous at all. Well, normally I don't, because Anonymous is a movement which I think could work so much better. But you see, the reason that Anonymous doesn't work that well is because, like, I could make videos and distort my voice and distort the images that you see, and call myself a part of the Anonymous movement. And I could say whatever I want, nobody's going to hold me to account. So I don't agree with it in that kind of respect. There is an online movement at the moment which kind of goes underneath the Anonymous movement, but it's actually a company, well, I don't know, company, service almost, called GSEC. Now, GSEC is, for me personally, it's a Twitter account, but it actually is quite bigger than that. Like, there's quite a few people involved in this. What GSEC have done recently is to hold Uganda to account. I love this story so much that I'm actually going to tell you the whole story. So the title of it is, Anonymous punishes Uganda for persecution of LGBT community. And obviously LGBT community is lesbian, bisexual, gay, transgender, LBGT, wrong way, but you know, you get the gist. So the story goes that Anonymous hacks and defaces multiple Ugandan websites, basically calling for the government to end the laws which are against the LGBT community. Now, one of the things that they put on the website is, it just reads, "So, what now? We have full access to at least 50 of your websites, and even more are being hacked and DDoSed," which is the... never mind. This is becoming much bigger than we expected, and this is exactly what we are aiming for. This operation is going worldwide, and everyone is helping out. You want to put people to death only because they have different likings than you do. Your stereotypes are pathetic, and so are you and your security, which kind of is true. This will continue until you change your ways and beliefs of LGTB, another variation of the thing. There is no need to put people to death for this, and we will not tolerate it. We have access to your official bank, your official news websites, and your departments of defence. Put a stop to this now, or it all goes right here on Pastebin. And Pastebin is, well, you've got Google. Now this story actually goes back to June the 25th. Well, I think it's actually earlier than that. I think, when was that one? Oh, that is dated the 25th, apparently. There have been other messages since, and as far as I'm aware, this is still happening, but to be honest with you, I don't know any Ugandan website of the government, so I can't actually verify this for myself. But I've got to say, this is something I'm really impressed with, and I'll explain why I'm impressed with it. You see, years and years ago, for LGBT equality, it would involve like either political things, so things happening in courtrooms and in, well, like Harvey Milk, and he got into the political system, that sort of thing. But it also involved like riots, fights, deaths, loads of shit has gone down. These days, though, the internet is so much more powerful than we actually give it credit for. Everyone, I think. And this is kind of like a war on the Ugandan government. I mean, let's face it, right? Homosexuality is illegal in Uganda, along with 30 other countries in Africa, and few Africans are openly gay, fearing imprisonment, violence, or losing their jobs, all of which is legal should you suspect that person to be gay. Not even know, but suspect it. They are... well, basically the government and Christian leaders are escalating their campaign of intimidation and harassment of the LGBT community. Last week, the Uganda government announced it was banning 38 non-governmental organisations it accuses of promoting homosexuality and recruiting children. Now, this thing alone, this whole thing, I've got to put a stop to it myself. I've got to say this in a video. It is not possible to recruit someone to be gay. It's not. I don't care what people say, it's not. Because these same people would be the ones to say to me that I was recruited. And I can honestly put my hand on my heart and say, oh, I don't know where it is, but it's somewhere. And it's probably frozen over. I can honestly say I had straight parents, I had straight teachers, I had straight friends. Everything in my childhood was straight. There was never anything about homosexuality, you know? It was never, like, forced on me. It was never even spoken about, actually. So, to say that I was recruited, bullshit. To say that recruitment goes on these days, bullshit. Because how are you going to know if someone's recruited? You know? I mean, I could say that I'm straight, but you're not going to know that. What difference does it make? You know? The Uganda treatment of the LGBT community isn't something new to me. You know, I've known about this for quite some time, and I, in the past, have signed countless petitions and mailings and all this sort of stuff to the Uganda government, and they don't pay attention. They genuinely don't. It falls on deaf ears. And whether it's because the country has involvement with religion or whatever their reason behind it is, they don't listen. Now, the UK government recently got involved with things like this, and what they were doing in the past was giving money to countries that needed it. Well, what the UK government is doing now is if people within the UK or the government themselves find out that within these countries there are people who aren't being given basic human rights, they're cutting the funding off. For a government, I mean, okay, I'm not expecting the government to do, well, anything about this, to be honest with you, because I just think when it comes to other countries, our government seems to be like, and they don't really do much. But for them to do that alone, I think, is quite a good thing, because these other countries are going to go, well, actually, you know, we were getting quite a bit of money off that country. Well, how do we get that money again? Well, if we change them laws, we can get more money. It is quite an encouraging thing. Now, I don't know if it's worked in the past or whether it will work in the future. I don't know if that technique is going to work. But it's better that they are actually trying something rather than just saying, I don't know, that's that country, well, this is what we do in ours. You know, it's kind of good that they're getting involved. Like I say, I don't normally support the anonymous movement because there is nobody in charge. And I think I've already complained about it in the past, the fact that they use this face as anonymous, but the actual face is based on Guy Fawkes, so it has an identity, so it's not really anonymous, because we know it's Guy Fawkes, so yeah, fail. I also don't agree with websites being taken down, because part of me thinks, well, okay, you take the websites down, people are going to learn how to do that. Now, what is to stop me taking down, I don't know, American government websites and saying, you know, oh my, I won't give you this website back until you ban fat people, or something stupid like that. You know, this thing could really cause problems in actually doing that. But I think that having been involved myself in trying to make change happen in Uganda. I mean, okay, not loads. It's only signing petitions and, you know, putting stuff out online. But it's my own way of doing it, you know. I don't have to fly over there and be arrested and all this sort of stuff to make my voice heard. But this movement, I can't agree with it enough. I think it's about time. You know, we have tried everything else, and we're still not listened to. We needed more action, because at the end of the day, you know, for fuck's sake, we're living in the 21st century. We're still in the 21st? When do we go to the 22nd? I don't know. But we're in a day and age where people shouldn't have to beg for basic human rights. I mean, okay, I know that in America there's this whole debate about, you know, gays should be allowed to marry, they should be allowed to adopt, and that sort of thing. But part of me thinks, okay, yeah, that is something to be dealt with. But these people, they can't even come out the closet. You know, we've got to deal with this ball first, then we can deal with this. But until we've dealt with that, you know, kind of leave that for a minute and let's just tackle this one. And this is what's happening now. So to GSEC and the people who are doing it, you know, because I don't know who they are, but I fully appreciate the work that they are doing for this movement. You know, I fully appreciate it. My main message is, if this video gets found by a member of the Ugandan government, good luck using the Google translator, because it doesn't translate everything right. But pay attention, because we, as a gay community, have had enough. And it's about time that your country moved into the 21st century, you know, and stopped denying people basic human living rights. If a person wants to come out as gay, it's not going to affect you. Let them do it, you know. There's certain, I mean, people always say, well, it's their culture. There's certain things in cultures that do need changing, and denying people basic human rights, that needs to be changed world over. So that's kind of my message for this one. You know, I thought about posting it on Facebook or on Blogger or something like that, and I was like, no, do you know what, screw this, I want to do a video. So I can officially put my face to the movement and say, I support it. So, yeah, thanks for listening to me ramble. Again.